from those turnovers last week and just continue to grow upon them, because in games like this, those type of plays can really make or break the outcome.
Purdue did blitz you a lot. Did it help to come off a game like that where you saw those sorts of things, or just Penn State just looks so different?
Yeah, obviously Purdue, their scheme for the most part, they brought at least 5 pretty much every single snap. Sometimes they would bring 6, 7, or 8 guys. So I think that was good, just getting the ball in my hands quick and letting the playmakers do their thing. But I think the Penn State scheme is obviously different than that. So I think the biggest thing is just learning the things that we can take over from week to week, like getting the ball out quick versus pressure, and recognizing it early on. But at the same time, you have to take that with a grain of salt, because obviously Penn State will run different stuff.
How do you feel like you've handled the blitz, just sort of generally this year, identifying where you think what coming from and getting to the right place to get the ball?
Yeah, I think for the most part, we've done a pretty good job. I think as an offense against the blitz, I'm not sure what the stats are, but I feel like we've done a pretty good job of myself getting the ball out, and receivers winning off the line, which is huge. And I think the line's done a good job picking it up, and running backs sticking their nose in there and giving me an extra second to make a play down the field. But obviously still room for improvement. I think there's been a few times this year where we've gotten the look that we wanted in terms of blitz and haven't necessarily capitalized. So that's one thing that I think we need to take a step in the right direction going forward.
Kyle, having played in Pennsylvania in high school, does this game mean anything more to you? Does have the opportunity to go against Penn State?
Yeah, I think regardless, knowing the type of opponent we're playing, you circle this one on the calendar for sure. And, playing with, a lot of these guys in high school, playing against them, I think just makes it even more special. But I think just because they're such a quality opponent, I think that's why everybody's looking forward to it so much.
What do you remember about being recruited by Penn State, and what was it about Ohio State that led you here over there?
Yeah, I think obviously Penn State, if you live in that, Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, Penn State's like the school that everybody dreams of going to. And so obviously been to a bunch of Penn State games. Actually got to see them play Ohio State in 2018, the whiteout game, when Dwayne led them back in that comeback win. And so, in the recruiting process, they were great. They were probably my number 2 choice. But I think when Coach Day gave me the green light to commit, there was really no doubt that, this was the place to be, given his track record. But they're a great school. And obviously they have great talent at every single position, well coached. So I got nothing but good things to say about Penn State.
You, in 2018, you went there as a Penn State recruit.
Yeah.
Penn State, but you were so enamored by Dwayne and what they did. Did you kind of feel like during the game, you almost your allegiance switched? Mm-hmm. How did that kind of process work?
Yeah, so like you said, I went as a Penn State recruit. I had the Penn State offer at the time. I did not have an Ohio State offer. And that was really one of Dwayne's first big games, and seeing how they used him in the offense, I was like, if Ohio State ever recruits me, I think that would definitely be something to consider, seeing the way they're using Dwayne, the way they're throwing the ball. And it just opened my eyes to it, because I never really thought Ohio State was going to be a school I was going to end up at, just because of the traditional track record with Braxton and Terrell Pryor and all that. Wasn't really a pocket passing type of offense for the quarterback. Funny enough, a few months go by and the season ends in January, and they offer me, and I was like, wow.
So even as you left the stadium that night, were you thinking, well, that visiting team was big?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the way that game played out. I remember talking to my dad about it, and I was like, if Ohio State comes calling, I think that's definitely a school to consider.
Kyle, aside from getting the ball quicker, what can you do to help the offensive line in a week like this?
Yeah, I think they obviously know the challenge that it's going to be. I think their defensive line is really good. And I think for me, if I can get us in the right protection calls, and like you said, getting the ball out, when the routes present themselves, being on time, being loud, I think just all those things just to help them. And I think it's going to be a team effort.
Kyle, when you think back to some of these classic Ohio State, Penn State games, and being from that area, do you think of this matchup as a rivalry game?
Yeah, I think when you think about the best teams in the Big Ten, just historically, I think it would be us, Team Up North, and Penn State. And I feel, just looking back at all the great games that have come between us and Penn State, I feel like It's obviously not the game around here, but I think everybody in this facility knows, it's going to be a challenge, and it's been a challenge every single year that we've played them.
Kyle, I know none of us can relate to what's happening in a quarterback's brain in the middle of the play, but when maybe you're getting some pressure, what's the process like of maybe deciding, am I going to take off and run here, or am I going to hang in and maybe wait for somebody to go? But just like in a nanosecond, how do you figure that out?
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with your preparation. Obviously, every single play is different, every play call is different, and every single pressure is different. I think you have to understand the play call and what works, what are the answers versus pressure, and then B, what they're trying to do on defense in terms of where they're bringing the pressure from, what coverage are they playing behind it. And I think you just have to study that and ask yourself all those what-if questions during the week. That way, when the opportunity presents itself, you have the answer before you even see it.
Does the fact this is your home state school on Saturday, does that mean anything to you? Does it get your juices